Hey guys, welcome to Kid Missing TV. I have an update for you. The granddaughter of Lillian Damaris, who disappeared on August 14th, 1952, at the age of 31. From Mason City, Iowa, her granddaughter, Candy Gomez, posted an update both on the missing persons page, and her name has been taken down, although some sites still have her as missing. Her granddaughter is working on getting that corrected. Because, unfortunately, her grandmother, Lillian Damaris, maiden name Huff, was found to have passed away, thank goodness of natural causes, although very young, in New Orleans, Louisiana. We don't know why she left home. Was she already sick? I wanted to spare her young children? It's possible, but then she would have survived a very long time. She passed away of lung cancer in 1969, again in New Orleans, Louisiana. She is buried at the Charity Hill Cemetery. Again, she left 3 daughters. She was 31 when she disappeared in 1952. That makes her 48 when she passed away, if I'm correct on that. Let's see. 41 would be 10 years, add 7 to that. 48, yeah, I was right, okay. That's very sad, but again, it was 17 years later, so it's highly unlikely that she knew she was sick then, because especially back then, you would have died fairly quickly, because they didn't have the kind of treatments that they have today that would keep you alive as long as treatments keep you alive today. Sorry, I was trying to, there we go. It was pretty much a death sentence back then, especially something like lung cancer. It's reasonably fast growing, so. I was just talking on my other channel about my own cancer journey, just briefly, and the freaking chemo brain. And one of the most common long-term effects, other than missing pieces of memory, which I have, is struggling for a word. Trying to find a word when you have a picture of the word in your head. You know the word. My biggest one is notification. When I'm talking to you-know-who in there. Can't think of the word. When I was on my other channel, I was trying to think of a word that Salisbury steak, that I had pictured in my head and couldn't think of it. So, unfortunately, back then they didn't have much in the way of chemo. In the 60s, especially not for it's also possible that she left because her husband had died in an industrial accident, and it is said she was devastated, and her family thought that she might have had a nervous breakdown at the time of her husband's death. So it is possible. And then she got herself together and found herself dealing with a deadly diagnosis and chose not to go home at that point to spare her daughters, you know what I mean? Because when she left, her daughters were 6, 4, and 2. And her mother, as I mentioned in the first video, did not report her missing because she was worried about them taking the children away from her. because she was raising the children at that point. And that's understandable. You can't even fault her for that. I didn't say that in the last video. I didn't really comment on it, but you can't fault her for that. So I am very sorry for her daughters, for her granddaughter Candy. She's the daughter of her youngest daughter, who was only 2. I think her 2 older daughters are both passed. I could be wrong. Candy, correct me if I am, please. You can look under the original video for Candy's update. Her update also, and comments also appear on the police page, and they have updated their page as well, and have closed the case, even though a lot of sites still have her listed as missing. So to all those sites, including the Charlie Project, update yourself, please. For the family, update yourself. I try to do that. That's why you see a lot of updates on this channel. And you'll see my updates early because I've started doing them when the update comes up instead of waiting until the beginning of the month and having a pile. Because that way I'm getting them up more timely. And it's awful because when you look it up, she's listed as missing in so many places. Police have changed it and taken it down in Name Us. I don't know whether, I would imagine the Doe Network has taken it down. I didn't see any listing for them. That's good. Charlie Project still has it up. So please, Megan, update. I'm not sure the circumstances around which her daughters found out that she had passed, what she had passed from, and where she was buried. I don't know the circumstances. A gentleman actually posted above her that he thought she was killed in Colorado. Well, she wasn't. She died of natural causes in Louisiana. Her case has been closed by the police, and I asked anyone who has them on their YouTube channel to update the case. Anyone who has her on their website to update the case. Please do this for her family. Do this for Candy, for her mom, for her aunts, all the nieces and nephews that searched, the grandchildren. Please, I ask you to update it for them, just as I'm updating it for them. Thank you, Candy, for taking the time to comment on my original video on your grandmother. I appreciate it so much, and I wanted to get this update up for you quickly. Unfortunately, I can't put a picture up or anything because I'm having to do this on my phone because I've got issues with my computer. So I do apologize for that, Candy. But I wanted to make sure your update went up. Again, those of you who just joined me, Lillian Damaris of Mason City, Iowa, disappeared August, I'm looking right at it, August 14th, 1952 at the age of 31. And her children found her to have passed away in 1969 of lung cancer at the age of 48. Again, please update your websites. Please update your YouTube channels for the family. I think it's so important. And I'm sorry that it took decades. I think the daughter said, the granddaughter, sorry, said 70 years to find out what happened. That's insane and unacceptable that it took 70 years, but and it should be noted that Lillian went by her middle name of Eileen. In fact, she's listed that way in her brother's obituary before they knew that she had long predeceased him. So, anyway, actually, I think he wrote that I think they wrote that she predeceased him, but this was long before they knew what happened. So, again, thank you, Candy, for the update. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of my viewers and subscribers. Guys, we're at 525. We could make it to 600. I'm going to give us till Thanksgiving. Thank you so much for being here. God bless you. And I will see you in July, All-American July. Check out the preview for that. Bye, guys. God bless you.